Well, back to work. Um, let's pull this down here. Okay, and actually, right there you can see the most recent shot of Mr. Big. And this is a much older shot of Mr. Big from OpenTunes. Yes, indeed, as so often has happened along the journey of this anime, his character design has changed a little bit. And so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shot and turn it into this shot. Well, I mean, I'm going to replace this shot. And the way I'm going to do it, I already did this, but I guess the first thing I want to show as a matter of technique is something you may or may not be aware of in Krita, which is you can select a batch of keyframes. See, in this prior shot, Mr. Big goes from this ornery look to he kind of raises his eyebrows and he's sort of feigning a genteel attitude. And then, of course, when he turns his attention back to the ninjas, he gets all cranky again. So for the next shot, he's going to be talking to Akari, and therefore we need that genteel attitude. So what I did was, you can do what's called mirroring frames. I think it's kind of not the greatest name for the technique, but what you can do is grab a batch of frames in multiple layers all at once, and you right mouse click and you go mirror frames. And what it really does is it reverses them. It just completely takes them and runs them in reverse. So now, instead of going from genteel back to cranky, he's going to go from cranky to genteel. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So now the question is, what does the guy say? Well, he says, "I'm sorry if my man frightened you. An unavoidable precaution, I assure you." So for this particular shot, it's really all going to be lip sync. So okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these. These keys are just duplicates anyway, so I could always pull them back from over here, right? So now what I'm going to do is take these keys and I'm hitting the Alt key and then just dragging these downstream so that I can just work out the lip sync. He's going to say, "I am sorry," so I want to move this. Oh, come on, Krita. Don't be silly. So I want actually, maybe I will use the closed mouth. Let's see if that plays. And let's stretch this out just a little bit. So yeah, we want, generally with, what I found is with lip sync, usually on 4s seems to feel about right. Sometimes you want to slow it down and stretch it out to 5s or 6s, but usually, like when there's a long vowel being held, for example. "I'm sorry." So I'm going to go ahead and use that one. We're stretching a bit here, but whoops, I want to grab Control key. If my man, this should probably be the teeth. Okay, actually, probably not. We have a fair amount of latitude with lip sync in anime, by the way. Frightened you. And then let's go back to the closed mouth position. I guess we can't use that. That's an interesting I'm sorry, my man frightened you. Oh, I've got too many syllables in there. I'm sorry, my man. So I'm thinking probably throw that back to there. Whoops. I'm sorry. Okay. So we're lacking one. I wonder if I can do this. Hit Control and then actually copy over. Okay, that did not work. That was a mistake. So we're basically one keyframe out of sync here. Okay, unfortunately, Krita's being a little bit stupid, so I'm going to put those there. And I think for fun, I'm going to stick this one in here. Oh, come on, Krita. All right. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm sorry if my men frightened you. All right. And then he waits a second. And that won't work. And probably we should just toggle between these two for a minute here. Oh, come on. Really, dude? Okay. I'm gonna use the mirror frames here to just reverse those two keyframes. Yeah, that's actually good. An unavoidable precaution. I guess it'd be sure. I keep dragging these and they don't copy. And then I got that one frame off. Sure you. Alright. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. And that I think would work. That doesn't work. That one in particular doesn't work because it looks like I think his head was in a I was going to say in a slightly different position, but I guess it wouldn't have been. I don't know. I'm just going to hit the insert key and stick in a new keyframe here, and then let's just swipe that color. Let's go to the mouth layer. Okay, so to get this accurate, I really need to go to full opacity and turn these guys off. Otherwise, I'm sampling a color that's got some color correction on it, and that obviously is not well advised. So let's go here and pull back out. Alright, so this is going up to 160. I think that's probably okay. So I'm sorry if my men frightened you. An unavoidable precaution, I assure you. An unavoidable precaution, I assure you. Not bad. The only thing I'm really not liking is that. So this one I'm going to erase. I'm going to erase it and just draw a new mouth shape there. Alright, and what I think I want is just a kind of like that. I'm going to fill that in. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Cool beans. And that's it. That took, oh wow, 10 minutes. Nice. File, render, and this is going to be 59. With Krita, you want to make sure you click on the folder that it's rendering into, because if you don't, it'll often render to a default location. So just an unavoidable precaution, I assure you. Okay, so with that, I can go to my blah, 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 conversions folder, which is right here. Convert that to 59.avi. Hello. Drag that in there. The old one was the MP4. So that means they can coexist side by side. So I'm selecting 59, going to Blender, and I'm just going to go right to here and drag this sucker in there, right there. Oh, shoot. Darn it. Come on. Undo. Okay. Let me do that again. I forgot something very important, which is I got to turn the color correction back on. So let me make sure I didn't leave anything out. I did not, except I believe yes, I made the mouth. Originally the mouth was light. It was partially transparent. So file save, file render. Well, these are the details that you have to be careful to remember. And now again in the other screen, I'm going to the conversions folder, waiting for it to get done rendering, quick conversion. And now we can drag it in to Blender. That looks better, doesn't it? Okay. So let's just see how this flows. Then, care to explain? I'm sorry if my men frightened you. Well, precaution, I assure you. All right. So we kind of have the same situation we had before, where we're going to have to ripple edit this whole doggone thing. So what I'll do is grab these guys, so that I can then go hit the B key for box select, grab all these guys, then I can zoom back in and move these guys downstream, at least to there. And now let's see how this plays. Okay, and so now one thing I want to do, because you see that all that hiccuping right there, that's Blender. It's glitchy, and this is 2.79, and it's glitchy in 2.8 too. It does the same thing. So you just reload the scene, and then Blender gets unconfused. An unavoidable precaution, I assure you. Okay, so now I'm going to drag this down. This has got to come back. That's got to go that way. Okay, and you can see just moving the titles causes Blender to get confused, and you have to do a reload. So it is what it is. I keep hitting the space bar. In Blender 2.8, it's space bar to hit play. Okay, so here we have a shot that obviously is going to have to again be redone, because these guys, they need more tweens, man. They're just not coming in quick enough. Now, I actually like, gosh, I think I like Akari, and I think I like Mr. Big in that shot. I don't like the color correction, but that's okay. We can tweak that pretty easily. But I think we might actually be, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we're okay. So let me, okay, so this is the shot I'm comparing with. So there's Akari there. Let's go ahead and put a curve modifier on this one, just so we can kind of get the color closer to where it needs to be. Okay, Blender doesn't seem to really want to respond very well today. Okay, that's pretty close. Okay. So it would be my sense that Mr. Big looks good. Akari, she looks like Akari. So for this shot, we're going back to OpenTunes because I just need to pull up the OpenTunes scene and do a few extra tweens on these guys. I guess you could argue that her expression is. I mean, maybe the timing there needs to be changed, and plus I think I'd like to give her a little bit more eyelash action going on. So now with that, we're at 16 minutes. I think I'm going to stop. It probably makes more sense to do one shot at a time. So the biggest takeaway from this video would probably be the mirroring keyframes. And maybe if you don't watch my videos a lot, then you might get something out of my approach to lip sync. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's just what I found is normal people talking at a normal pace seems to be on 4s. If you put in any more keyframes, the mouth moves too much. It looks chattery. I mean, we're actually dancing with that here. We're right on the edge. A lot of times with anime, what you really see whenever somebody's talking, they just go like this, really. And I'm not really so much into that approach, although it can work, but it's a bit stylized and more appropriate to like this shot earlier when Akari's yelling at the ninja dudes. Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, like right here. Most of her lip sync here is just toggling between two shapes, you see. But for that, because it is so stylized with these, lines and stuff, and we're really exaggerating her attitude, it kind of sort of works, So anyway, with that, I will stop, and as you know, there will be more later.